love you. Now teach me to forget. You broke my heart a million ways when you stole my happy days and left me lonely night, and left me lonely night. Thank you, thank you.
The majority of people who live in here are not what the public thinks. Everybody here isn't a vagrant who has been rounded up and gone astray. This has been, as Lord Rowton described when he built the places, this was a hotel for a working man. I think that on the law of average, to better this place now would be very hard. When you take into consideration all it cost me out of my pension to stay here is £2.20 a week.
Neil, you've got an interview for Monday afternoon.
For what?
To see if you can book in here.
Why should I be interviewed?
Why should you be interviewed? Because that's the procedure.
That's right.
That's right. That's
Where do you
what
come
happens
from?
to everybody.
Where do you come from?
Where do I come from? I was born in Newcastle on Tyne and my family comes from
I know you.
Camden.
Shut up.
Now listen, have you got a bed for tonight?
No.
No. Do you want some information about where you can get a bed tonight? No. Well then, I'm afraid there's nothing else I can do for you till Monday afternoon.
I'm the world's worst beggar. I was scared to beg. Do you know that? Scared to begging, to live. But I got through. 3 years, was it? 3 years was a good time to do it. I learnt a lot. You learn a lot. On the road you have to. Otherwise you don't live. Good spikes, bad spikes. Most of them typical council. You know, what's name? We were refused once, or they tried to. Refused us our bread and Maggie, dry bread, and what passed us cheese, Peterborough. I said, read your rules. Every man that's here is entitled to walk out with bread and cheese, so we got it. He said, the law said we don't want you back in it. I said, don't worry your head on that, I won't be back. I won't be either.
I've experienced what other people talk about. I've been under the bridges at Charing Cross. I've actually been in the old proverbial boxes. I've tightened my belt. If you understand what I mean by being hungry. I've also taken jobs in the past when you could do a little bit of moonlighting without not too much quitting. Gone and did a job for, say, £4 or £5, knowing quite well the job at the time would be worth 15. I walked the country. I've walked to get to London, for instance. I walked from Liverpool. The point what I want to say here, I never come to London in the first hand with the old proverbial pick in one hand and the shovel in the other, looking for the old slabs of gold. I knew it'd be tough, but even in them days it was tough.
We used to stay anywhere, you know, in any hostel. Now, I'll give you an example now. During the war, you find out that I'm correct. There was a bomb dropped across the way. We were here up asleep, and we were half drunk, sitting in the bed, saying, if our number is on it, you've got it. You know, if your number of the bomb was on your cap, you got it. You know. We of course, we were able-bodied and young then, you know, and we could drink a lot, and drink was cheap, you know. We always had the flask.
Do you like being here in Arlington House?
Well, it's about the best place for me, you know. So it is.
I mean, at 93, you don't want to go anywhere else?
Oh, God, no. No. No, I passed my time of reading and Dreaming you were.
Are they sometimes difficult, the elderly gents?
Not really.
No?
Not really. We know how to handle them.
Yeah. Got to be firm and kind, yeah? Or
Firm at times, but mostly kind and sympathetic. And lots of encouragement.
encouragement?
Yeah. If you want anything to be done, you have to encourage them. That's the only way.
The conditions here now could, in some ways, be better, but that could only be achieved by the people who live here.
Snooker tables,
Cards, drafts,
socials,
chess, dominoes.
that's where you're really be. You're not depressed. If you're up and about, there's no way I don't know Andy.
You can always find something to do to occupy your mind. We've got 4 television sets. You had 2 before, which went off promptly at 10 o'clock, and the room was empty. But now the television's on 24 hours a day if you want.
They've even got 2 playing cards. You can join a bit from the library. I'm only joking.
That's the time love says, always lovely as Roman in the gloaming. I love a lassie, a bonny Highland lassie. She's as sweet as the heather and the dell.
She's as sweet as the heather, the bonny purple heather, Mary, my Scotch bluebell.
Jerry, are you allowed to drink here in Arlington?
You're not allowed to drink anything. You've got to hide the fucking thing. No, you've got to hide it. Well, you've got to try your best to hide it. When the evening and the day, when you go down Lambeth Way, you'll find yourself doing the Lambeth Walk. Well, the party's over.
Are you going to be here for Christmas?
Oh, God. I want to meet Santa Claus, like, you know.
We're making this place here, we've been here 8 years. The place is very difficult to copy with the residents in this place. But we get used to them, but some of them, when they just come in here and then they start abusing it, the staff. Well, some they call very bad words to us that you're a black bastard.
Some of the tenants are nice. Some of them are very aggressive sometimes. But on the whole, the aggressive ones, when you ask them to leave their rooms on bed change days, they want to get out because they're half asleep. But sometimes, when they realize what they've done, they will apologize to you.
Good morning. Thank you. It's all right, don't worry. Early in the morning, we have to check every room to make sure that they are well, because any of them could be sick and is unable to get up. Several times we have seen even some who are dead, and it will be reported, and the police are called in, and the necessary action is taken by appropriate officers.
Must be very disturbing to find someone who's died.
Yeah, actually it's disturbing, but it's become a part of the job where we know that this is what we are likely to meet nearly every now and then.
And how do you react to the residents? How do they respond to you? How do you get on with them?
Yes, actually some of them don't really like it. When you knock every morning, say good morning, how are you? Fine, especially if the ones that are very aggressive. But some elderly ones are very, very happy about it because maybe throughout the whole night he was not able to speak to somebody. by coming to him in the morning and say, hello, good morning, Billy, good morning. They feel very pleased.
We have to decide out of the people who apply to come here who we can take and cope with, who would fit in here in the sense of being able to live in a place like this for however long they want to live here. And those people who would not be either appropriately housed here or who have something in their past, which means that we have to consider the welfare of other people before we let somebody in.
Why is it so empty at present?
Time of day as much as anything else. During the daytime, a lot of tenants will be down, want to be outside the house, particularly on a day like this when it's not particularly horrible. And also some of them will be down in the canteen having late lunches and things like that. No, I don't sort of check into every lavatory and shower every time around, but at least once a day one needs to do that, just to check for any maintenance issues. There's always been that mix from people with sort of university backgrounds who work for international companies and had their own homes to people who can hardly read and write at the other end of the spectrum. You've always had that range of people here. People can have a string of misfortunes happen to them, and if they all coincide at once, that can be more than one person can handle. And either the person ends up homeless and jobless and penniless, or they may become violently ill, serious mental breakdown or something, and everything else then falls to pieces from that, and they need to start again. And this is one of those places where it's possible to make a fresh start. When this was a Rowton house, there were roughly 220 people on each floor. This is an old room size, 5 foot wide. So you've got the old locked-in door and the panelling. Now the room stretches from here right the way across to here. And if you walk around the building, you can just see, by seeing the blocked-in doorways, how we've halved the number of rooms. It was very crowded. And you've got, this room was 852. Over 1,000 rooms, and they've numbered from the ground floor up. We've brought the numbers down from a capacity of about 1,000 to approximately 390, which is what we have now. If you go to the concise Oxford Dictionary, you will see that Rowton House appears as a definition, accommodation for poor working people, but of a better standard than a common lodging house. And I think you have to remember that that is where this place started. It wasn't custom built as a hostel. It was built originally to house people looking for work who didn't have families. And it's evolved from that, partly as a reflection on the changes in the economy, so that there's been a change in the balance of the population who work and don't work.
I've been here since November 1983. 14th of November 1983. And the first day I walked in the door, I'll never forget it.
Why? What happened?
Walked in the door and thought, oh my God, what have I done? Because it was disgusting then. It wasn't like now. You could smell this place for the underground. It was filthy, dark, it was smelly. It was just totally disgusting. There's no other way. You would never have thought that human beings could live in the circumstances that the men lived in.
The guy wanted to kill me. Tried to strangle me, but found my throat wasn't strong enough that his hands couldn't strangle. So then he said he tried to get out a knife. He wanted to cut my eyes out and kill me. And he was serious. He went to business. It has, for the last week, completely shattered me. So I haven't been going down to the usual handouts or whatever, you know. Now I'm just getting a bit, thanks to this dude out, and I don't let her see that.
The you guy. I talked to you guy.
This dude is hidden away. She didn't see that. So now I'm just getting back, and I'm just going to phone up Tom now in a minute and say, Tom, if you lose your sense of humor, that's all you got to hang on to. As far as I can see it in my life, you know, your sense of humour, I'll hold on to that.
The majority are not welcome in pubs. The pubs around here don't want them. So they've either got to stand at a street corner and drink, or sit in the corridor here and drink. If they go up to their rooms, you've got 2 of them, 3 of them in the room's crowded. And why do most people drink? For company. Sometimes it's the only human contact you have. Going into a pub, talking to somebody. They're not allowed in pubs, so they have to find an alternative. The alternative happens to be drinking in the corridors. We try to control it as much as possible.
My name is Terry. What is it you would like?
Sorry, Terry.
It's all right. What is it you'd like?
I'm blushing. Well, sorry.
What do you want?
I want nothing.
Well, it might mean you'll just want a bit of company, mightn't it?
I do. Yes, I do.
Come on, girl, come on down. Caledonian Rose.
What do you think of living here? What's it like?
Well, it's all right. As long as, I mean, I keep myself to myself. I spend a lot of time in my room because we're screaming and shouting in this place. I mean, you know. I don't know. It rubs off on you a bit. Still, it's better than sleeping in a van.
Did you go to a public school?
Yes, downside.
Did you expect to end up in Arlington?
No, of course not. I knew there'd come a time when the money that my father left me would run out. That's why I was rather desperate to find a partner who would enable me to turn it over. Say someone who knows a lot about cars, who can go to auctions and pick out a car for $1,700 and sell it for $2,400, things like that.
Are you on medication or?
No.
But do you drink a fair bit?
No, I hate drink. Hate drink. I once tried ether. Ether is, apparently, I looked it up in the medical books, non-toxic. It gets rid of phlegm on the lungs. Apparently it's very good medicine.
You see yourself here next Christmas?
Oh, God. I can't answer that. I don't know. I hope not. I mean, maybe they might rehouse me. I don't know.
Do you care what happens to you?
Of course I care what happens to me. I'm only 39. I'm in the prime of life.
Do you make friends here? Can one make friends?
Not one. Actually, it hurts me to look at them, Marshal.
Most people are alone here, then, do you think?
Most of them are lovers, yes, yeah. I think most of them hate the sight of each fucking other. Surely I hate them first. It breaks my heart to look at the bastards. Oh, fucking broken men. I've never seen fuck all and never will see fuck all.
More comfortable than you've been in.
God, I think I'd sooner be in hell. To paraphrase that guy said, I'd sooner be in hell than Philadelphia. I think I'd sooner be in hell than Arlington House.
Help a homeless person now by giving just £15 to shelter. Call us now on 0800 300 313. Thank you.
If you really want to arrive in style, you can always rely on a Clio.
Decay after meals and snacks. New spearmint Decay with its special active ingredient helps keep the acid away that can start tooth decay.
To add light and warmth the easy way, use new Crown Creams emulsion. Make your home your own with Crown.
This is one of the most powerful upright cleaners. This is the new Electrolux Contour. You won't believe how powerful it is.
To this day, it's a mystery who gave in to temptation. But one slice of Viennetta, with its irresistible, crisp, dark layers and sinfully rich ice cream, never seemed quite enough. So who had their eyes on that last slice? Why all eyes turned to me, I can't say.
Viennetta, one slice, is never enough.
Having the WA round for a soiree. Tricia Simpson's been acting like Egon Roney since she got a fondue set. So I'm putting my stall out. Popped into the British Gas showroom last week. Very struck with their range of new gas cookers. A young man signed us up. No interest right now, he says. No interest, I said. I'm not surprised. But that's the economy for you. Turns out he meant no interest if I had it on credit. So here I am. Tricia Simpson's butterbean whip. I wouldn't use it for grouting the bathroom. Don't you just love being in control?
As important as it is, a lifetime's brushing wouldn't remove all the plaque. So don't brush your life away. Rinse with Colgate Plaques before brushing, and you'll shift more plaque than brushing alone.
I'm on a hair and beauty course, so friends often ask me what's good for their hair. We all know that blow drying and styling is bad for our hair, but we still do it. Well, now I've learnt that really healthy looking hair starts deep down. That's why I was asked to try new Pantene 2-in-1. Pantene combines shampoo and a conditioner with Pro-Vitamin Complex. The Pro-Vitamins penetrate your hair to nourish it. Now my hair has never looked healthier. And it really shines. So when friends ask me what's good for their hair, I tell them to try new Pantene 2-in-1. Pantene, the daily treatment for healthy looking hair.
You know, it's not put a bit of colour, that's a lovely thing. Yeah? But put a bit of colour and it's more beautiful. The coffee way.
Well, I'll probably characterise it like a Toulouse-Lautrec.
Exactly, yes, exactly.
Think of Toulouse-Lautrec as an example. When you paint the other residents, do you get sort of feelings about them? Well, you get a character, you can sort of depict their, what's the word? You sense a depth in them, what they are, because what you're trying to portray as well. That you recognise, you sense it's like Rembrandt saying, when I paint my portrait, a self-portrait of myself, I sense all the misery in my face, and all the hard times and the good times, you know what I mean? And I sense all that in there as I'm capturing it, It's the same with them.
How long have you been in Arlington?
About 1.5 years, man. 1.5, too long. I think it's time to move there. Listen, John, can you hang on till Tuesday?
Most certainly.
And let me reconstruct back in oils.
Most certainly.
And then you can have it back Tuesday.
And I admire you for that.
Thank you very much.
Send them more.
That's quite all right. And that's your Christmas present.
What would you like to do today?
Get drunk. Or I'd like to go down to St. James's Park, have a can, have a smoke, and just sit down and look at the lovely, beautiful river or pond and all the lovely little ducks from all over the world in it. That's it. Can't say no more than that.
Do you drink every day?
Not every day, because I can't afford it. I can't afford it. I paid £40 per week in income tax for 15 or 16 years. And I've had a good life. I've had a good life. Very good life. And at the moment, I'm not really bothered, really, whether I click it this minute even. But I've had a good life. I've had a brilliant life. Oh, I've done time in jail as well for something I'm very not proud of or anything like that. I got involved with lorries and machinery. And I'm from County Wexford, Dublin man.
And I grew up in Northern Ireland all the way through the 60s. So when it started to come to a head, things started happening, obviously. People started getting murdered. And a few of my friends, who were close friends of mine, got murdered. A lot of my neighbours got murdered, of both communities, both Protestants and Catholics. And I have had to live through, say, 15, 20 murders of close neighbours and friends. And to cope with that, like, I don't know how, maybe some people give the impression that they cope with it, but I was one individual that could not cope with the feelings that these things arose in me. I just could not cope. So I done what I thought was the right thing to do. I left it, and I came to Arlington House as a very, very lost individual, totally frightened, totally afraid. This is when I first came into Arlington House.
But the drink blotted all those fears out.
Yeah, the drink blotted these fears out for a while. It gave me a glimpse of being without fear. So therefore, when I got into the state of being without fear, I thought, this is it, this is great. So therefore I kept drinking.
A lot of people in Arlington House drink. It's not just Irish people who drink. Very often, it's people who come from rural backgrounds, regardless of what country they originate from. People from Scotland, people from the north of England, who face similar problems in adjustment to life in the big city. Alcohol is a relief. It's used as an analgesic. It's used as a way to blot out the harsh realities of life, in a sense.
What? Sorry, boy. Sally Nogan. Oh, yeah. Yes, boy.
People who came here in the 40s and 50s to work after the war, generally speaking, had a very ruthless type of existence. They would have worked all over the country. Talk to men here, they'll have worked everywhere in England, basically. So in a sense, they never got the opportunity to put down roots to, say, build supportive relationships, friendships. The lifestyle tended to be men living in work camps, B&Bs, digs. Not the kind of place you can bring people back to, so very often people socialise in the pub.
I broke up a lovely relationship after 4 years, 5 years. I'd been off that every day down Paddington, only to drink. I was never on the street, but lucky enough I got in here. Now I tell you what, I think I'm going to crack up a drink. I was been in the dry. I was, this time last year, just 2 years before Christmas and 2 years after Christmas. Then I came out and I had a cancer operation inside me. They took off my tonsils and they found the cancer. Now he ended up in here, but I'm happy here, but...
Speak up,
I'm homeless. I've got enough. I lost me the one I love, Connie. She said come back anytime you want, Brian, as long as it's sober. So I can't go up there now. Every time I go up there, this last couple of weeks I've been drunk. I'm on the sick. What can I do? I touch everybody. Just get off the tree if they can.
Good night. You enjoyed it?
Yes, indeed, sir. It was smashing. Do it this road. I mean, look at everybody. They're really enjoying themselves. They're having a ball. They really are.
What about him? Is he having a good
Yes,
night?
indeed, sir. And you, come on, cheer up. You're happy, ain't you? Gone back to the area, but he's all right.
What's happened to him?
What?
What's happened to him?
Same as us.
What?
April 18, I fell down the stairs. He fell down the stairs. He wasn't physically abused. He's all right. He's fine. Just getting over his problems. We're all trying over our problems, but we're trying to enjoy Christmas, which is very important. Is that agreed?
Yes.
I think it was 78 that I first came here. This was under Roughton, the previous people who were here. It was a slightly different kettle of fish to what exists at present. There were about 1,000 people living here at the time. And roughly speaking, it was like a pretty run-down public school or Japanese prisoner of war camp or something similar to that. It personally caused me no problems whatsoever, partly because I was at a British public school, and partly because I suppose my father was at a Japanese prisoner of war camp. You knew precisely what you had to do if you wanted to get your face bashed in. You also knew precisely what you had to do to avoid having your face bashed in. Personally, I have no problem with Roughton at all. I've done a variety of things. I was a qualified chemist with Kodak, and therefore interested in such matters as filmmaking. I was also a property dealer in a fair extent, and I got somewhat tired of dispossessing other people, and eventually got dispossessed myself and landed up here. It doesn't bother me in the least being here.
It doesn't?
No, it doesn't bother me in the least. The only thing which is an aggravation is sound. That's because I have got freak hearing. I've got very, very sensitive hearing. And this is one reason why I suppose I'm interested in such things as poltergeists and ghosts and spooks and the paranormal and synchronicity and such things like that.
Are there any evidence of any of that phenomena here in Arlington?
Absolutely none, although what is quite interesting is that when occasionally you have a suicide here, it upsets a number of people in the building, including before the event to myself to a very considerable extent. It's not something that just occurred. What happens to other people in an environment like this actually affects or many of the people in the building, and the more sensitive people would pick up this effect. I personally find it very disturbing.
Well, one of the reasons we wrote that article was because I went to an inquest last week. This guy, Arthur Pritchard, schizophrenic, he'd just been released from Free and Quiet Mental Hospital. He'd been here about 3 or 4 weeks. He somehow got out of the window and died about 3 floors below. Now, the door of that room was locked. It doesn't seem to have been a struggle in the room.
Arlington House has been portrayed as this terrible place to live, and it isn't. You look around you now.
It's not as if we just took the word of this one man who came to see us. We've had people come to us in the past and said, Arlington House is in a terrible state, this is happening, that's happening. There's no proof.
But I mean,
it's only now.
Where are these terrible things that are happening? He can call the environmental health officer in.
Well, that guy's death, as far as I'm concerned, is down to you.
Not to me as an individual.
No, down to you as a committee member, because it's your responsibility to look after the people that come in here. You get funding for it, okay? And they're not being catered for.
I'm very sorry that you should say that, because it's...
Well, you do get funding to look after these people.
We get funding to look after, in some way we get funding to look after everybody who lives here. But the specialist care that people used to get when they were in psychiatric hospitals, of course we can't provide. Nobody
If you can't provide it, why can't you be honest and go to the social services and say, sorry, we can't cater for these people anymore. You'll have to sort the problem out yourselves.
This is the problem we're all working with. We know we haven't got enough money. We know we haven't got a lot of resources. But can you imagine if all these people are out on the street? What it would be like.
It's your responsibility as councillors to do your best as you can, right?
Exactly. And that's
you're
what
failing.
we're doing.
You're failing.
Well, we're failing. In that case, then, we're failing with the government's consent. Because the government are not releasing enough money. I agree with you that
Excuse me for a moment. I was here 35 years ago. There's newcomers in here in this house here that don't like the house. And there's no barbed wire around the house to say that they can't go out of it. If they want to jump out the window, they can jump out of it.
Guest speaker at the launch of Arlington House.
Nice picture, isn't it? Who's this George Young? Anyway, I've never heard of him.
He's Minister for Housing and Planning. Presented to Sir George Young by the tenants of Arlington House to mark his visit as guest of honour at the launch of Arlington Housing Association on the 4th of December 1992.
Well, look nice and he's living with.
Yeah.
Maybe he puts it up there.
And a lovely antique frame.
Looks a bit antique and old. Who's going to give it to him, you or me?
I'm going to give it to him.
Good man. Glad to hear that.
Unfortunately.
Are you nervous?
No.
I've got the butterflies already.
There is no legislation that covers people like yourself. So, I mean, we're trying to get people off of the streets, not put 300 and odd back. I mean, whether the system is right or wrong, we're here to work on it. We wouldn't be here today if we wasn't committed to working to make it better. But anybody under the age of 18, anybody over the age of 60, anybody with a dependent, right, or a mental health problem have a statutory right to be rehoused. Why is there so many single people sleeping rough? Because we've got no statutory undertaking to rehouse them. That's what's wrong.
Hello, sir. How are you?
My name is John Humble. I'm chair of the Tenants Association, who has been given the honour of chairing the launch of Arlington Housing Association. I very much hope that the Minister and those attending this launch
will continue with their support for our aims and work of Arlington Housing Association on behalf of single homeless people throughout London.
And the first thing that I want to say is to place on the record my appreciation, the government's appreciation, for all the work that has been done over the past 10 years, meeting the needs of single homeless men, many of them vulnerable. The government's housing policies are founded on the belief that a decent home should be within reach of everyone. And in pursuit of this goal, we've looked at a number of schemes aimed both at reducing homelessness, while at the same time trying to reduce the burden on local authorities. And clearly, it's essential to the achievement of these objectives to ensure that no effort is spared in increasing the supply of social rented housing.
The reason we have the nativity in a glass case is because the first year we put a nativity up, first baby Jesus got kidnapped, then Joseph, then Mary, then the wise men, and we were left with the ark. So we had to buy a complete new set, and we put it in a glass case so they wouldn't be kidnapped anymore. People take them to the bedrooms, like something for themselves for Christmas. A lot of people think we shouldn't put up Christmas trees and we shouldn't do this and that. But how would they like to spend Christmas with no family? So we try to make it a wee bit homely, a wee bit like a proper Christmas.
What happened to you today? I was made redundant.
From what job?
From the Limehouse Link tunnel. Balfour Beatty joint venture. I was made redundant, so I am now unemployed.
Was it expected?
Half expected, yes, half expected. There have been people going every week, you know, 1 week to next week to next week, so I was expecting it, or half expecting it. I hope to be employed in the new year, but I'm afraid it didn't come that way.
Have you lived in Arlington a long time?
Yes, I've been here several years now. 4.5 years.
And it suits you? It suits you being here?
Oh yes, I'm on a good landing here. I've got a good room. I've got good clean digs. I get a fresh bed every week. Clean towels, my room clean once a week. The rest of the week I look after my own room. Oh no, I'm very good here. But there are some bad landings, you know. Certainly there's a lot of trouble and kicking doors and whatever. But where I am is, the landing I am on is excellent.
No, I would go for you, but...
Go to Gateways, you know me, don't touch me.
There are a number of support networks in the house. There is the dependency team, there's the key workers, there's a number of health workers. We're not able to enforce any individuals that they actually do anything about their alcohol problem. What we do have is an in-house dependency team, so we have workers available to actually inform individuals of their options around their alcohol problem.
Your advice would be to me over the Christmas, lock myself up.
I don't think that's a really good answer, talking to yourself up, Patrick.
You know, you've experienced someone like me before, but I get very frightened. I do, from drink.
And I can totally understand that. And as I said, we can always refer you back to your GP, and hopefully with a view of actually getting you admitted if it gets to the stage that it gets really, really bad, Patrick.
Yeah, but sometimes when it gets so bad, the windows are always there, jump out. You know, and Mary, what happens is, I hear voices, threatening voices, you know, and then I hear music going, and it just won't stop, you know, and frightening music, you know, threatening music, and I don't know if that's normal, and then I get itching all over, which the doctor told me. The surgeon told me in the hospital that is quite common through drink. It's wearing off, you see. You know, it's supposed to be in the blood. You know, I itch. There's no lice or anything like that. It's all itching, so it's in the blood. You know, I get all that, everything, and it's not pleasant when I'm up there on my own. You know.
So when did it happen when you're actually on your own, Patrick?
Once I switch the light off, Marie, I get frightened.
took me through prisons, through mental hospitals, through the streets, through every hospital in London, through DSS spikes, with settlement unit, through parks, through doorways, this type of thing. There's varying degrees of homelessness, but the true homelessness is within yourself. I've never felt at home anywhere in the last 20 years, until, say, this last 3 months. I feel at home within myself, and the surroundings don't matter at all anymore. It doesn't matter where I'm at now, I feel at home. Because of all, I was at home nowhere in all those years. Should I be living in a flat? Should I be in a doorway? Should I be in a hostel? Should I be in a church? Should I be in an off license? Should I be in a park? I wasn't at home, but I'm at home now. That's the difference.
Why?
Because I'm at home within myself.
But how have you achieved that?
By understanding myself and coming to terms with myself. I'm now at home with myself, and that makes me, I feel now at home anyway.
In Arlington?
Arlington House is my home at the moment. Be that what it may like. But to me, it's been good to me, because I can find a lot of support in here, like, you know, for my particular problem, like, as a recovering alcoholic, like.
For many it is home, for many it is the only option, and that's not something I'm particularly pleased about. For many it does provide a warmth and companionship, it does provide security. It does provide an environment where people are accepted for what they are. And I think for some that's probably a first, for some individuals coming here.
Is your meal okay, guys? All right.
No, it's horrible.
Is it horrible, is it?
I haven't touched it yet.
Lovely
man.
You want to eat it before it gets cold? Are you okay there?
Yes, lovely man. And the same to you. A Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year.
Three classic societies. You got the rich. You got the ordinary working class.
All right, John.
Then you got the plastic spoon brigade. When you look at the knife and fork, you say, well, where have I reached? It's up to yourself, but try not to reach the plastic brigade.
Possibly tomorrow.
Exactly correct.
This is Mr. Redican.
Hello. You're not from Ireland. Lucky chap. Good.
I've sinned.
Really? But I don't doubt that.
Let me kiss you, man.
Haven't we all? Have we all?
Are they taking good care of you?
The finest.
Jesus didn't have too good a place to stay on the day he was born, did he?
It didn't drink whiskey.
He didn't have as much to drink as you have today.
I know he didn't have whiskey to drink.
No.
But we're lucky.
Yeah.
We do have it.
Look now.
And he's got another bottle in the bag for us.
That's how you want it.
Very good. That's the Christmas spirit, that is. Have a good day. God bless.
Well, now, you've seen it here, the way the house looks after the men. I don't think you would get another house that would look after the men as well as this house. And I'm upstairs. I have been in hospital. I have had a very serious operation where they had to open the head all down here. Whatever they done, I don't know, because you wouldn't understand what they were talking about anyhow. When I come back here, the only thing I want to know is if there's still a room here for me. I was told there and then, of course, your room is still here. And that was it. My room was kept while I was in hospital. That's the way the house works.
You've never stayed in the present house in your life.
You're leaving today?
Yes. My last few minutes. Well, 3/4 of an hour, roughly.
How long have you been here?
Some 4.5 years now.
Part of the way in which this building is staffed is around people who actually can intervene in somebody's life in a way that enables that person then to go on and do something for themselves which they might not have been able to do so well before. It's a major part of the resettlement workers' responsibilities is about enabling people to move, to be able to cope when they've actually got into their own place.
I heard about this place. There's about 9 gone up this place where I'm going. And I've had good feedback from them. I said, well, that's the place for me. It took me about a year to make up my mind, though. And I made the plunge.
Through the work that's done here and the relationships built up here and careful resettlement, staged and sort of monitored and assessed, they're actually able to move into self-contained, which is hard enough to get anyway, and are able to deal with the peripheral problems that relate to living independently. But the nature of people we're housing, the nature of homelessness, is changing progressively, and more or less anyone can become homeless from all sorts of backgrounds, educational, class, whatever.
Hello. But there's a lot of good guys in this house, and they've worked hard in this life, in this town, over the 20, 30, 40 years. And this is their payment. So any help from anybody outside, be it charity or the government, wherever, but certainly this council, to remember this place. We're human beings.
This is the cottage you're in, the middle one. The stairs down to reception are there. Right. Basically the bottom is still here. Every 6 rooms there is a bathroom and a shower and a kitchen. It's only a basic kitchen, as you'll see in a second when we get to it. It's got a hot water heater in it which you can use to make tea in. That's about it. I don't recommend you keep anything in there because it won't stay there. The shower, the toilet if I've got them round the right way. Yeah. It's just the 5th floor that's different. Okay? Right. Yours is right near there. Michael.
There's every facility here for them. Free pills, free chiropody, free dental. What more do you want on this earth? What more do you want? Want paradise?
For background articles and further information on homelessness in Britain today, please send a cheque or postal order for £1, payable to Channel 4, to Give Me Shelter, P.O. Box 4000, London W3 6XJ. Or later tonight at midnight in the Gimme Shelter season, World in Action focuses on charity worker Jim Horn's life as he moved among the homeless back in 1970. St Mungo's People at midnight.
Trying to fox Linnigan, and in doing so he gets a free kick, and I think Mr. Don sees that as gamesmanship by Linnigan, the way he blocked his man, and he's going to get a yellow card for it.
Linnigan's appealing that he felt
Sheringham have backed into him, but once he had rode the tackle that he tried to pinch in front of him, then he had to bring him down, stop him getting away, and so 1 card apiece.
Yes, Linnigan joins Allen.